today and I picked up The Nightingale, and I've decided to start reading this because I have been in such a huge reading slump, and this is the theme of this video. I'm going to kind of read until I can get out of a reading slump. And hopefully this works. And maybe with this book alone, I will feel out of a reading slump. I'm gonna continue like reading in this vlog, even if I find myself out of the reading slump because of this book. I've heard amazing things about it, and it seems something right up my alley. I don't know why I wouldn't be why I would be disappointed. But it's been on the back of my mind with every other book that I've tried to start reading. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do the dive and do it. The only thing is I didn't realize like how big of a book it was. And I was kind of hoping to find something a bit smaller to help me get out of a reading slump, but I thought I would give this a go. If anything, if I start feeling really intimidated by it, I'm gonna put it down and pick up something else that's smaller and go from there. I don't really have a tried or true way of getting out of a reading slump, but I wanted to document doing it with you guys. This month also, I'm taking on a bit more in my personal and work life. So I'm kind of balancing those stress levels and being tired with wanting to keep up with my hobbies. I think I'm in a reading slump just because of that. I really just want to come home and like rot on my phone and watch YouTube videos. But there's also that other side of me that's like, I really want to read, and I miss being like, you know, deep into a really good book. And I really want to vlog and be doing things and not just want to like sit on my couch. But I'm just gonna try and do just kind of a collective vlog of things that I hopefully read this month, because hopefully I'm going to get back into a reading mood. I almost feel like a good majority of this year I haven't been in a good like reading mood. Like I have found some books that I really love, like Funny Story by Emily Henry being one of them. But the other thing with it is just like, as much as that was a 5-star book and I loved it, I also just like, I don't need to compare things to how I feel about ACOTAR because I love those books. They are my top fantasy series ever. And I mean, scrolling on Goodreads, you'd be able to find that like I've had quite a few 5-star books this year, but I've also had a lot that I've like put down, I've DNF'd, I've just been kind of like mid about. And I'm really wanting to get back into that feeling of being almost like all consumed in a book, honestly, where it's like I'm at work and I think about it, I'm on my drive home and I think about it, I get home and I just can't wait to pick it back up. That's kind of the feeling I've been looking for all year, and I know it's not a common feeling when reading, but I've been really missing that, and I don't know if I'm gonna find that in this video. But since I'm so busy and I can't do my weekly vlogs how I like to, I think I'm just gonna document what I'm reading throughout maybe the next few weeks, maybe the month. We'll see what happens with this reading slump and whether or not I can get out of it and find some good books. Okay, so I wanted to hop on here really quick and give you guys a reading update. I have made it 74 pages now. I am on chapter 7. I didn't know within the first 70 pages I was gonna cry. It might just be because I'm sensitive. I don't know what she puts in this writing, but as of right now, the hype is real. I'm not fully out of my slump yet. I don't feel the itching need to like read constantly right now, which I'm hoping to get there at some point with the book. But I'm really enjoying this. The biggest thing I'm noticing right now though is that I cannot like stay focused for very long, And I don't know if it's because of my phone and short form content. I don't know if it's because of like my stress levels and everything going on in my life. Like, I don't know. But I feel like I start reading and then I'm like, oh, I need to go do this. Oh, what about this? Oh, remember this embarrassing thing that happened. Okay, now think about it for like forever. I just feel like I'm trying so hard to focus on the words in front of me. And last night I was noticing through these last couple chapters that I was kind of getting more engrossed in the story, especially now that the characters are moving at a different pace than they were at the beginning. Like the story is just developing a bit more and I'm getting more engrossed in it and I'm feeling more connected to the characters as I'm learning more about them. You know, I'm gonna be shocked if I don't like this book. We'll see. I will add a review at the end of, not the end, but like I'm gonna add reviews in this as well. So you all will know my thoughts and my ratings, but I'm gonna start reading. Might go for a walk this afternoon if it cools off a little bit, but I'm gonna do some reading, some relaxing, and maybe some walking. So I will see you guys in the next clip with my next update. I am halfway through The Nightingale. Officially, I hit like 53% last night. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've hit the point yet where it has completely engrossed me, but I don't know how Kristen Hanna has literally made me fall in love with side characters that are in the book for a chapter who say 5 lines and I'm emotional about them. I don't want to give anything away because I think what has made this so amazing is that I know this is a very impactful and emotional story, but I have no idea what's going on. And I knew what time it was set in during like World War II and in France, but I get why people cry at the end because I am so emotionally connected to these two sisters that like, there are some things though that have confused me throughout it, especially with Isabel's perspective. And I don't know if it's just because I'm in a reading slump and I feel like sometimes when I read, I just have total brain fog, or like if it's just a little bit confusing because it might be a little bit vague in the parts that connect the bigger plot points. Those like in between parts that connect them just kind of like, it has me lost at times, but I'm flying through reading this, I would say, for being in a reading slump. I don't know if it's gonna fully get me out. I think it's gonna be one of those things where if it is like a 5-star book, haven't rated it yet, if it is a 5-star book, it might put me further into a reading slump and I'm gonna need like a book or two to help me get out of it, because wow, this is amazing. I'm definitely going to be reading more from this author because the way she manipulates words is incredible. I don't even think I'm at the intense part and I'm crying. To some people watching this, I know they're probably gonna be like, holy crap, she's crying her eyes out. Like, how is she enjoying it? I'm not really enjoying it. This book is I don't have words for it. It's very, very intense. It's very intense. The lighting is terrible. I have clothes drying in the background. But this is what we're working with. I just spent over an hour driving home from work. Welcome to LA. I'm so tired, but I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about The Nightingale. I finished it the other night and literally needed to give myself a day to breathe. This is a 5-star book, hands down, 5 stars. Walking into it, I was like, you know, everybody else is rating it 5 stars. Goodreads reviews are out of the, like, they're insane with the praise on this book. So I was just like, you know, I have high expectations, at least a 4-star. This is one of those books where there was a me before this book and there was a me after this book. Kristen, right? Kristen Hanna, the way she is able to write is amazing. I feel like the history was very clearly explained and understandable. Like, if you are wanting to get into historical fiction, I think this is a great book because I want to get into historical fiction. I don't even remember the last historical fiction book I read, but from what it seems, she seems like a really good author to start with. I'm definitely going to read some of her other books, but this hands down was amazing. Like, there were things that happened in it, especially towards the ending, where I was completely shocked. So if you want a really emotionally impactful, deep story, like, I definitely recommend this. It is going to be very emotional though. So if you don't want to pretty much cry and get deeply connected to characters, I don't recommend if you're not in the mood for that, but this is amazing. It was so good. I did read like the last 200 pages, I want to say, in like a day. I was just slowly pacing it out throughout the day, and I finished the book around midnight. And like I had to go to bed, and I was crying a little bit, like falling asleep because it was so emotional, and I was almost like, oh my god, I need to touch grass to like ground myself. Just it was an amazing book. And then yesterday, Labor Day, as you all saw in the clips before this, I was in the pool reading Mile High by Liz Tomborde. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but I've started this on my Kindle. Also, I've added a new sticker to my Kindle. I made this in the sense of like I traced it and got it printed as a sticker. But Harry's House, but I really like my Kindle stickers right now. They're really cute. I don't remember where I got the books one or the Addicted to Books sticker. I don't even know where I got the Karma as a Cat. If I can find it, because I think it was somebody on Etsy, maybe somebody on TikTok. If I can find it, I'll link it. But just a little side note, I think my Kindle is adorable right now. I want to say I'm like 50% or almost 50% of the way through Mile High. I've been listening to the audiobook for like the past 4 days maybe. Yeah, I started it like last week, and I was reading it for my commute since my commute's been 2 hours every day. Not gonna talk about it. It's hard. No, but not gonna talk about it. Yeah, I'm already like 50% of the way through the book, so I don't remember where I left off in the audiobook since my commute was over an hour and it was what I was listening to. I'm enjoying it. It's not this. I would say it's a very basic plot. It's what you would find in spicy romance books. Nothing too out of the norm. Like, I think I've read 2 hockey romance books and it just kind of feels like the same thing over and over again. The characters are okay. They're nothing like thrilling and exciting. I do feel like this has a little bit more depth than some of the romance books that I have read and had to DNF. I feel like I am engaged through it right now, so that's a plus. They aren't my favorite characters. I don't think they're going to be sticking with me for very long after this book, but I am enjoying it enough to finish it. The theme of this vlog, of course, is getting myself out of a reading slump. And I feel like this book has been fairly successful with it. The only issue is that now further books don't compare. So I'm trying to also get myself out of that mindset. I guess I shouldn't have started this vlog with The Nightingale, especially knowing that everybody's like rating it 5 stars. Like, no, like of course you're gonna get out of a reading slump with The Nightingale. I still want to continue this video a bit more. I think I'm gonna stick to that theme a little bit because, you know, there's always that one book that could put you back in a reading slump, and I just feel like I'm in a reading hangover right now. And this is nothing too amazing in my eyes, so I do want to find, hopefully, maybe one more book that I can read and pretty much rate 5 stars, maybe a good like solid 4.5 stars, and then I will feel successful. But as of right now, The Nightingale is a really, really great pick if you are in a reading slump and you want something very emotionally impactful. I definitely recommend The Nightingale. I'm hopefully gonna find a couple more. I'd really like to find a romance book that's gonna help me get out of a reading slump, something just kind of light and airy, and that's what I was hoping with Mile High, that I could find something light and airy. I just don't feel connected to the characters, but I've been watching Sarah Crowley's vlogs for a really long time, and I think it was Play Along that she read by this same author. It's in like this same, I want to say, universe. It seems like you might have to read the books in order for some of the things that happen with the characters, like who gets together and that stuff. But I think it's a universe that you can pretty much read out of order. I don't remember who I heard that recommended that you still read them in order anyways, but she loved that book, and I've heard really good things about it from other people as well, so I want to get through the first and second book so I can get to that. But I'm impressed. It's not something where it's like I'm pulling my hair to continue reading it. Like, I'm enjoying it for the most part. I just wouldn't say it's anything amazing, and I'm trying to find some good books in here to kind of recommend to get out of a reading slump, because they helped me get out of a reading slump. But I'm gonna go eat dinner. I will talk to you guys in the next clip, but see you then. Good morning. So I have finally finished Mile High. It really only took me maybe 5 days a week to finish, and I haven't given like any updates on it, but a big reason for that is because I read the majority of it in my car, like during my commute. I listened to it. This book was fine. I would say that I would give it about 3 stars. It was entertaining in all the good ways, but it was very tropey. Like, if you really like hockey romances, this is a really good book for you. I don't know how much I care for sports romances. This book wasn't bad enough to where I wouldn't continue in the series. I definitely want to continue in the series, and I think the trope in the second book I'm gonna like a bit more, because it's like the forced proximity roommates kind of trope. And like, my favorite book by Emily Henry is Funny Stories, so like I think I'm gonna eat that one up. But this one, it was good. I never felt connected to the characters. I didn't necessarily like them. I felt like the female main character was just very tropey, and her interests were really tropey. And I feel like the male main character, Xander, like, I felt like he was also tropey, everything that he was dealing with, and it was a very trope heavy book. It was an easy read, so if like you're looking for an easy read, this is the perfect book for it, like you. But going to this after, what is it called, The Nightingale, was like a huge jump, like a big difference. But in general, I don't think this would have been like one of my top favorite romances like ever. I would just give it a solid 3 stars. It's something that I would recommend, especially to people who love sports romances or like want to even get into sports romance for the first time. This is a great book for that. It just wasn't my cup of tea necessarily, but I do want to give the author another chance. Like, I liked her writing. I felt like it was good, especially for something that had a lot of smut in it. It actually was all written good, and the plot was good. Like, it was a good book. It wasn't like some of the romance books that I've read that it's just nothing else. A lot of the time I DNF those. I don't really like those that much, but this was one that I never contemplated DNFing. I just in general really enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite. Like, it's just a solid 3 stars. And I would also say the banter was really good. Like, the chemistry between Stevie and Xander was actually really convincing. This book has been one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I've honestly been in a reading slump for quite a bit of time, so I just haven't wanted to pick it up because of that. And I'm kind of hoping it's actually going to help get me out of my reading slump a little bit, because as much as The Nightingale helped kind of kickstart all of this, I feel like Mile High kind of left me in the same spot that I felt, where it's like I finished reading Mile High and I was like, what do I even read next? Like, I've gotten through a good majority of my physical TBR, so I knew I needed to go out and buy a book, because everything that's left, I'm like, I definitely don't want to read any of it. So I did pick up a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Her book, The 7-Year Slip, is literally one of my absolute favorite romance books. I loved that story. So I knew when she was releasing this one, I was like, don't gotta ask me twice, I'm definitely reading it. As of right now, I do still feel like I'm in a reading slump. I haven't even made 50 pages into the book, and I've been reading it for 2 days. So the reading slump is still very much there. I'm hoping this is one of the books that just kind of gets me back into wanting to pick up a book. Like, right now I'm definitely mood reading between like a historical fiction, a romance, now another romance. Like, I'm definitely just mood reading. Who knows, maybe I'll go into a fantasy next, but it's good. I am enjoying it. I know it's also going to be very tropey. It already, like, I can see that happening. Something that I loved about The 7-Year Slip is that I felt like there was a lot of symbolism in the entire book. Like, it just felt really deep and impactful, which I feel like the way I'm describing it is just a little bit like shallow. It was just a really good book with a lot of different meaning and a lot of depth. And I'm not sure this one will have that same amount of depth. I'm curious. But like, the whole story is literally based on the main character stumbling into the town of her favorite novel. If that is not every like book lover's dream, like this, I like the whole concept of this book. I love. Like, it's great. It's clever. I am pretty excited. I'm kind of hoping that it is a bit more fall-y. I think it might be set in the summer though, but it seems like a cozy romance book, and I have no idea where it's going. Like, I don't know the conflict. Like, I have no idea where this is going. So I'm very, very interested. But yeah, I'm going to keep reading or keep trying to read today and see where it takes me, because I am in a reading slump. However, I have been watching a lot of YouTube. So like I'm just in almost like a watch something kind of brain rot level. I'm not in like a read something brain rot, if that makes sense. And this month I knew I was gonna want to come home and brain rot quite a bit, because my work-life balance this month is awful. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get to reading, and I'll see you guys in my next update. Y'all, so I've made it to page 148. I'm technically on chapter 16 of a novel love story. And I will say, this is not what I expected it to be, and I'm a little bit disappointed, but it is a small town romance trope, and I should have known walking into it that it was that, and I think I did know, but I think because it's Ashley Poston, I was hoping it would be done well. And don't get me wrong, it's done well. It's done well. But it's not my favorite trope. So I'm not sure if this will be my favorite book by hers. But I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I do really like the characters. To some extent though, with the way it is written, where she's in the world of her favorite romance book, it is a little bit difficult to follow along with who is who, because there are so many characters and you're getting the perspective of the main character, like our narrator, what is her name? Elsie. I'm so bad with names. Who already knows all the characters, so you're seeing it in the point of view where she's getting excited and freaking out, but you're like, who is this person? And she gives you like a backstory, but I don't know, for some reason, like, my brain just isn't registering it very fast. But I am enjoying it. I love Ashley Poston's writing. I love her writing style. Like, I think she's such a good author. I'm enjoying it. I just don't think the trope is necessarily one that I gravitate towards, and one that I know I really enjoy. It's one of those tropes where I'm like, it's a hit or miss for me. So it's good. I mean, it's Ashley Poston. I love her writing. I'd recommend her to anybody. The 7 Year Slip is literally hands down one of my favorite romance books ever. Granted, it's the like friends to lovers, roommates, forced proximity love story, so of course I would love it. Like, that is a trope I love, but it's Ashley Poston. I love her writing anyways. Like, The Dead Romantics, everything. Like, love her. I am enjoying it. I'm not halfway through yet. I'm almost there. So I'm there. This is what I've read, but I don't want to scream too loud, because then my neighbors would likely call the cops. But the reading slump is over. Oh my God. I don't know how to dance. It's over. It's over. Unwell. Physically unwell. Every trope, everything I love about romance is wrapped up in a tiny little bow in this book. I am eating this up, like, to the point. I don't know if I'm gonna make this decision yet. I love Ashley Poston. I love her writing. I think her books are so worth it. But her book I'm reading right now is not my favorite trope, so I know I'm not going to rate it high out of my own personal rating, but it's one of those where it's like, okay, if you actually like love small town romance stuff, it's for you. For me, I don't. But this, y'all, the video's done now. No, I mean, it's not. I'll finish this book and I'll review it because, you know, I'm 27% of the way in, so maybe I won't like it, but as of right now, the reading slump is over. John and I have started to watch The Perfect Couple. 10 out of 10 recommend. I don't know if I said this last night, so if I did, I'm gonna cut this clip right here and then move on to the next part of the clip. But John and I started watching it last night, and I am a very harsh critic about book to movie adaptations, book to TV show adaptations, just any book adaptations. I'm a super harsh critic about it. I'm insufferable to sit there and watch it with because I'll be like, that wasn't like the book. Okay, and like I really could keep my mouth shut about it, but this one's actually good. The acting is good. It's all around really, really like it. Granted, we've only watched the first episode, but it's so good. But I'm trying to decide whether I want to watch The Perfect Couple tonight or binge read this book. And I'm also trying to pace myself with this book so I don't read it too fast so I can enjoy it for longer. And that right there is the feeling I have been looking for. The escapism I've been looking for, and I don't know if it's healthy, but it's what I enjoy and it's what I'm gonna keep doing. But this book, oh my God, it's so good. And I'm being so annoying about it, but like, thank God, 10 out of 10, so far getting me out of my reading slump, because I literally only think about this book. And granted, I gave the first one 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but to this level, no way. But I want to read through the series. Like, Liz Tomford does romance well. She does romance well. I think I'm practically certifiably crazy. I'm totally kidding, actually. Probably not. I don't know. But I ended up getting something in the mail that I wanted to show you guys. No. So I love this series so much, I got the box set. So I found a good deal for all 3 of them on Amazon. So Mile High, The Right Move, love this. I'm not done with it yet. I still have an hour to go. And then I have Caught Up, which I haven't read yet. Sadly, the books aren't floppy books. But they're also on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can go ahead and get these. I just love them so much. I knew I wanted to display them. And I will buy Play Along when I finally read Play Along. But I have an hour left in The Right Move, an hour or so. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. I just got back from work. I don't know if I'll sit outside. I don't know if I'll help John with his project he's doing. But I will see you guys in my next clip. So I think my last clip was me opening the Mile High books. Is that what the series is called? The Mile High series? I think so. Windy City series. I had to look and see that Mile High was the first book. So Mile High was the first book. The Right Move's the second book. And then it goes to Caught Up. And then Play Along, I think. But let me scoot this back a little bit. I feel like it's really close to me. I finished The Right Move a couple of days ago. I think I finished it on Friday and today's Monday. Or maybe I finished it Saturday night, Sunday morning. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But I finished reading this. And I think my final rating of it is 4.5 stars. I know I said initially that it was going to be a 5-star read for me probably. And I'm still kind of sitting on this rating. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I felt like towards maybe the last quarter of the book, it lost a little bit of my interest. And I think it's just because I had been reading it for a while and I knew I had to get to some other books. So it's not that it lost my interest. It's not that I didn't start, I stopped liking it. It's not like I didn't like the things that happened at the end. I loved it all the way through. It's just towards the end, I just got a little bit bored of it, I guess. But I think it's because the buildup of the first half of this book was just amazing. I think the entire romantic plot of it was spot on and perfect. I didn't feel like there were any points within the story where I read something and I was like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't add to the plot. This doesn't where are we going with this? I didn't feel that way. I just felt like everything flowed and made sense to me. And I just loved it. I love Ryan Shea, absolute new book boyfriend. I'm obsessed with him. And I really related to Indy and I really liked her as a character. I only have one complaint about the book, and it's her relationship with her parents. I felt like was a little bit confusing and not easily defined, and I think I would have liked diving into that way more than what we got, because we did get a very beautiful glimpse into it. But I would have really liked to see so much more of that. But this has definitely become one of my favorite romances, definitely one of my top reads of the year. And I would like to say that this alone, not alone, because the rest of the books in this video have been very monumental in helping me get out of a reading slump. But this right here kind of helped solidify that, yes, I was out of the reading slump. I could find a book that I felt attached to. I felt attached to the characters. I loved the storyline. It intrigued me so much that I didn't feel like I was scrolling on my phone endlessly. I thought about wanting to read this all the time. I woke up. So yeah, I did finish it Sunday morning because I woke up Sunday morning and I was like, I don't even want to scroll on my phone. I want to finish this book. So this definitely is the end of the video with this book because I enjoyed it so much. And I honestly didn't expect it out of this series because I'm not really a sports romance gal. And sports is pretty heavy in this, but the actual plot, the writing, the romance, it was just deeper than just a smutty sports romance. It was more than that. It was just good. So I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so happy that I was able to end this video successfully. It only took me, 4 books? So I think that's a pretty good win, especially since my first book was 5 stars. But who wouldn't rate The Nightingale 5 stars? But considering I was able to rate a book 5 stars and I thought it was so good, and then I found 2 other books that I was able to enjoy, and then a 4th book that's a 4.5, maybe 5 star, I would say this is a pretty successful video, so I'm happy. So I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my content. I do plan on posting a bit more. I know I've been a little bit sporadic with my posting. And like I said, it's because I'm dealing with a lot with work in my personal life right now. So I do plan on posting more, and I hope to see you guys around. So I will chat with you in my next video.